Hello guys, welcome to the O2 Academy, and I'm here as part of Lee Paul Band Media, and I got a really cool green sticker. But anyway, I'm delighted to say I'm here with Robert, with Hannah and Gareth from, well, I've just found out session performers, but they're here as part of Lee Paul Band. Hello guys, nice to see you. I suppose the first thing to start is I will get to your involvement with Lee Paul and everything, but what I find really cool is, because we've been here several times as part of media, but like, how excited are you guys to do this? This must be like really, really cool. We'll start with you.
It's going to be cracking, yeah. I mean, the rehearsals have been going really well. Sound check were both excellent. And yeah, we're raring to go. Like,
yeah.
Can't wait. It's going to be good.
Cool. How about you?
So excited. I'm like jumping in my seat with excitement.
You can see she is. How about you, Gareth?
Fantastic opportunity. It's it's a great venue to play in. I mean, for a lot of us guys, we play in the pubs and we play in the venues, the smaller venues. So to play with guys like them down there, sound tech and what you've got performance down there. It's just
it's funny you say that, because like we're literally right next to Academy 2, which I know Lee Paul's played before, and like you're probably used to that sort of room, and now apparently like you've got like 1,000-ish people coming up tonight. So God, that must be how is that feeling? Are the nerves kicking in? Because we're about an hour from your start.
It's a bit mental, but me and Mike, who's actually in the band, we were in a band together as well, and in fact you've interviewed us before, so you already knew that, but for the benefit of YouTube viewers or whatever, we were in a band together, and he and I did an acoustic set supporting Mr. Big on that stage. God, two years ago maybe.
Yeah.
And that was incredible, but like we were just getting the sort of dregs of people coming in for Mr. Big, so it built from about 150 people when we started up to about 600-700. But this is going to be like, the place is going to be full when we go out, so it's just a completely different kettle of fish. It's going to be it's going to be pretty intimidating, I think.
It's going to be bouncing before we start, hopefully, with
four
bands on beforehand, so the place will be ready to go.
Are you guys ever actually like been to an O2 Academy gig before? Like, have you seen the stage and stuff?
Yeah.
Like, so you kind of know what it's like.
Yeah.
Well,
it's so different being on the stage though, and having that like different perspective of it. Like, it's massive. Like, it's so scary.
That stage seems bigger every time.
Every time you get on, you're like, oh dear.
It's weird because I know you vaguely, and I know Lee quite well, and it's kind of like, even I, as part of media, it feels a bit weird because I feel like one of you guys. It's like, so you made it, yeah. And I'm like, great, it's so cool. But like, how about you, Gareth? Are you like really nervous or?
No, I'm not too bad. I mean, I've played the stage before, which was not as big as this, but similar sort of place but you can't see nothing, so that's the great thing. You see blast. I was saying one of the lasses in the band before, says it's complete. It's like playing in a studio or like playing in in the rehearsal room when you're out there. So there's no need to get nervous because there's nowhere really out until the lights come on.
Dark and the lights.
The lights are kind of on you as well. So when you're out there, you'll be able to see that there's a lot of people in there, but you won't be able to pick out faces. I'll probably spend the first half an hour trying to spot my dad.
And then your wife.
And then
in fact, the wife's probably easier to go for first because she's got red hair. She'll be easy to spot.
And then Lee shouting, "You missed the chord, Robert! You missed the chord!" Sorry, man. Sorry.
Well, let's hope not, because he's kind of a karate expert, so I don't want to know too much.
Yeah, he said on the podcast we do that. Yeah, he was like, "Oh, karate," and I'm like, "Lee, you've got great hair." And my joke was like, I'm gonna be like waving. I'm like, I'm really noticeable, so you're gonna be like, "Oh, shut up, Stephen, stop waving." But I'm gonna try my best.
Well, either that or I'll grab you by the wrist and break your elbow.
Yeah, and then you'll like.
What a quiet lesson of that outside before, didn't we?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Ross as well, the manager, like he's like something Dan karate. I don't really understand it all, but like they were both showing us some moves. So we incorporate that into our on-stage presence.
We thought we were bigger than them, but we ended up quite submissive towards them.
That should be your logo. Lee Paul Band, don't mess with them on or off the stage, because like you're in trouble then. So what I wanted to talk about, because you guys mentioned to me before we started that these are all kind of like, well, for want of a better phrase, session workers. And I'm interested to know like how Lee approached you guys, because I've got a funny feeling I know your story, but let's start with you. And how did you first get involved, Gareth?
Well, that was through Rob. We went. We were
Trillions.
It was
Trillions.
It was my 30th birthday, wasn't it?
That's what it was.
When we went bowling together, and I knew Gareth and Lee, so I invited both of them, and they met there. So.
And we were just having a chat while he was wasting his money on the slot machine, and he was just, I was just saying, telling him what I did, and then we got together. We had a little acoustic session. He said, "Come down for a practice," and it sort of love bloomed from that sort of thing. So,
how about you, Hannah? How did you get involved?
Well, I'd just done Open Mic UK in like the November time, and then I did another one in January. And my boyfriend's friends with Ali, the drummer, and so got in touch with him asking if he needed any female backing vocals, and he said, actually we've got a gig coming up. So there I was.
There I am doing it and all that. Is it the same thing for as you?
Well, sort of. I mean, I've known Lee for quite a while from when I used to run open mics, and same with Gareth. That's how I knew sort of both of them. But when the album was being put together, Lee got in touch with me for putting some. I think there was some strings on a couple of tracks and some keys and guitars, which I recorded in my house.
All right.
And then he said, "Well, do you want to come do the gig with us? Because then we've got you to be able to actually play that live." And that's basically it. So,
yeah. That's cool. One of the things I forgot to mention as well is what you guys do in the band. So can we go through what you do?
I'm keys for pretty much all of it. There's one song on guitar.
Metaphorically or the instrument? I'm the key to the band.
I'd like to think so, but I'd probably get beaten up if I said it out loud. I play keys for most of the stuff. And like a little bit of percussion. There's one song I play guitar on as well, and then I sing like 2 lines of backing vocal where Lee comes over and shoves the mic in my face.
Someone said to me outside, Ian, who's helping me out with this, you do tambourine or something, or is he just...
well, both Gareth and I are playing tambourine on a couple of tracks.
That's cool.
But when
Bring
we're
back
not
the
playing,
it's a country track, so it's got to be a tambourine.
Yeah.
You can't miss that.
A guest tambourine player. I'm up for that. If you're
session tambourine.
Yeah, because that bumps up the money.
It does.
We'll have a word with Lee after this.
And our guest tambourine player is well, that's cool. So what are you? Oh, you kind of mentioned it, didn't you?
Female backing vocalist.
Are you part of a group, or is it just you? Is it just you that's doing the backing?
No, I sing also with Lauren Shaw, and then you do backing vocals as well.
Cool. But I'll stay to the opposite side of the stage because I can't dance.
You got a routine?
Dancer is not a routine.
Please don't build that up because I think you've been working on it tonight, haven't you?
Just go with the flow. Go with the flow. Well, what I was going to ask was, I'm just intrigued to know because I always find it funny. Do you have like a choreographer? Or you just kind of
make up stuff? I like to think of myself as
they've been trying to rope me into it. Oh, do you think we should jump at this bit? It's like, how am I supposed to know? Like, I've never...
Country Western just turns into some sort of like some sort of country dance song.
I'll dance with you halfway through the set.
So how about you? Did you mention what you did? You used to mention your percussion.
I'm backing vocals, and then a little bit of percussion, like shakers and tambourines and the extras, sort of,
Mm-hmm. Are you kind of like? Are you really like? So I suppose it kind of makes sense to me that you guys are really flattered that he asked you and you're involved in it. I mean,
that's awesome.
Yeah,
it's like such a good opportunity. Like it's amazing. Like I'm so glad I've been kept on.
I didn't screw it up.
Well, that's just it. I mean, Lee knew that I did stuff at home and was able to record some stuff, and I've essentially been asked to do it on the back of that. So he's obviously really pleased with what I've done already. So that's like a massive handshake to me. You know what I mean? It's like wicked if he wants me to do this as well.
It's great to do something different as well. I mean, I come maybe from a blues and rock sort of background, doing the country. It just
me too.
It's it's different. When you're playing on yourself on stage, because I play a lot of solo acoustic stuff. When you're playing with a band, it's a different kettle of fish. You've got a lot more things to think about because a lot more, especially with a country band with 10 people in or whatever, 10 hours. But no, it's a great opportunity to play with someone who's very tight band, and that's what's
the amount of work they've put into it as well has made our jobs really, really easy because they're just so dedicated, all of them.
They're so good. They're an amazing band. Like everyone's just so close and like crazy.
I mean, we've talked to them a couple of times, and like as I mentioned earlier, Lee on the podcast explained in quite detail how hard this is, because it intrigues me because. My next question was going to be on a similar note to that, is like, how pleased are you that like an unsigned band has an opportunity to do something like this? Like,
I think, don't quote me on this, and if you do, there'll probably be comments on YouTube saying, what are you talking about? But no, apparently we are the first unsigned band to headline the main stage.
Yes, you are. You are.
Certainly one of the first.
I checked this because I was like, that's so cool. You need to like market it.
I didn't know that, but that's great news.
No,
that's a moment in Newcastle history. It's one of the best venues in the town, and probably the best sound team, like front of house and monitor team in the northeast. You know?
Yeah, I'd go along with that. I mean, how about you guys? Are you like, because I mean, you do session stuff, but you said really pleased at another same band based on you
just
didn't
in
even
awe
know.
of them.
You're in awe.
I just think it's so cool. Like, it's really good.
Superb. Yeah.
That's cool. I think that pretty much covers it. So I suppose to end on it. Oh, well, what's the future for you guys? That's what I was going to mention. I mean, because these are all part of solo. I know you've got solo stuff and you're all doing session stuff. If the opportunity arose that you become part of the band, like I don't know, full time or whatever the phrase may be, like, would you consider doing it?
Bite the hand off.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, I've got Neil.
I don't think you can bite his hand off.
No,
I've explained that.
I will try. No, essentially, I'm well up for that. I mean, I've got my own stuff that I'm doing as well. I'm trying to get a band together for my own writing and get something together for that. But essentially, hopefully after tonight, there'll be enough people in here that are that interested in us that there will be a lot of brilliant things in the near future for the Leap band, and I definitely want to be involved in that. Like, it has. I mean, there was a video that got something like 200,000 views in less than a week.
It's a lot more than that.
So the interest in the band is already sky high. So if this, well, I won't say if, when this goes really well tonight, hopefully there'll be a few people that pick the band up, and then we'll carry on with them. And
I think there's an issue
whether it's permanent or not, you know what I mean?
I mean, even if they
I
didn't,
want to gig with them as much as we can.
I mean, even if they didn't ask to come back, like to just being part of it, like now is just amazing. Like, it's such a good experience.
There's definitely a niche in the market for a country band. I mean,
I love country music.
Nation. Is that what it is?
And there's no Leap band. I guarantee you, if Leap band were in there, they would be number one by a mile, because the following for country and western bands in Newcastle is actually huge.
Yeah.
But there aren't any.
There's none that
northeast country and western bands. It just doesn't exist.
Crazy,
I looked hard to try and find how are we getting this many hits? Oh, it's because we're the only people doing it.
I suppose, and I'm allowed to say this.
Well, plus we're awesome,
Yeah, well, yeah. Well, that goes without saying. But I suppose my response to that has been, because I'm part of new media, I'm kind of allowed to say that I think a lot of mainstream media don't sort of represent sort of the regions well enough. Because you're absolutely right. I know for being in media around here that there is a huge following for this sort of thing, and not even just here. I mean, I know Lee goes to America quite regularly, and that is just the biggest thing in the world.
On a different scale.
I think the majority of our YouTube views, or their YouTube views, have been in America, because they've got a bit of a following over there.
Yeah, I mean, there's literally like a radio complex of country western stations.
But when you say about the regional thing, that's not just country music. Like there is so much talent in the northeast, and the national media doesn't recognise it anywhere near enough. And with gigs like this going on, with what Echo Sound have done, which is they've done a brilliant job for everything.
Shout out to them.
It gives people a platform to really put the northeast on the map, because it hasn't happened in years. I mean, we had the Future Heads. We had Maximo Park, and then further back, you're looking at the Lighthouse Family, Sting, Dire Straits, and whatever else back in the 80s. But really, over the last, 20 odd years, you've been looking at Wales, Manchester, London, and there's a couple of bands come out of Sheffield and stuff. But the Northeast hasn't really made a massive dent. And the more people there are putting on gigs like this, the more likely that is to happen within about the next 2 years or so.
The problem is people think the north is Manchester. There's nothing beyond that.
The Midlands.
There's nothing beyond Manchester, apparently. Yeah. No, that's cool. I think all leaves me to say is have a really good time tonight, and I would wish you good luck, but I think you're going to be great. So. Cool.
Cheers,
man. Cheers, guys, and good luck with the future.
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.
Where do we go now?